Hey everybody, Chris here. So today I'm going to be talking about the cost of a school bus conversion. There is a very wide spectrum here. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I've seen school bus conversions where somebody gets it at auction for $1,500. They put a futon in it and a chest freezer and some very rudimentary cabinets, if any, and they hit the road. And that's totally fine. Where you have school buses like mine that is designed and built to be a full-time home for the foreseeable future. So I'll give you a rundown of mine and then kind of let you know where the variances are there, where you can kind of cut costs or add costs. So mine is a 2002 Bluebird All-American school bus with a Cummins 8.3 and the Allison 3060 transmission. A lot of people absolutely love that particular drivetrain. In my opinion and other people's opinion, it's one of the best drivetrains you can get with a school bus. I got it at auction on public surplus for $3,050, had 120,000 miles on it and the drivetrain that I wanted, 40-foot bus, so it's a larger bus. And there's two routes that you can go. You can go to the auction sites, which will be linked down below. I got mine at public surplus. There's Purple Wave, there's Gov Deals. There's a lot of websites where you can find the school buses that are going up for auction. So you can get them on the auction sites, you know, anywhere from $2,500 to, these days with people getting into the school bus conversions, they're starting to get up to the $8,000 or $9,000 range, depending on the drivetrain that you choose. You can totally do that. Another option is going to bus dealers. Basically what bus dealers do, instead of going to the auctions and buying one by one, they'll go to a school district and buy 8 or 9 buses so they're able to get a lower cost. And then typically that bus dealer will then have a team of mechanics go through the bus, check everything, make sure it's good to go, and then sell the bus at a higher cost. The bus dealer that I get my bus worked on, I didn't buy it from them, but going back, I might have done that. The reason why I mentioned I might have gone with a dealer is overall, I got incredibly lucky with this bus in terms of having no mechanical issues, no major mechanical issues. And I'll preface that with saying school buses are either sold by the school district for one or two reasons, typically. One reason is it's a problem bus. There's always something wrong with it. They always have to replace something. It's just a money pit. And eventually they just put it off to the side and then they're like, let's just get rid of that bus. The second reason is, depending on the state, depending on, where that bus is at, usually it's 15 years before a bus has to be decommissioned out of the school district. So they can have a perfect bus that works great, but the 15 years is up and they have to get the new buses in. Luckily with mine, this was not a problem bus. This was a bus that, the 15 years came up, the school district had to get rid of it, and I bought it at auction. But for me to even get this bus ready to go on the road, I had to buy new tires for it, because a common thing school districts do is right when that bus is about to go up for auction, they will take all the good tires off of the bus and put on all the old tires that is part of the school district fleet. So when I got my bus, it had all the old tires on it and I had it taken to a mechanic shop and they couldn't drive it past 45 miles per hour. So I had to buy all new tires, which is about a $3,500 hit. They had to do some minor work on the ABS system, the anti-lock brake system. So I bought the bus for $3,000. It was about $4,000 to get it roadworthy. So, I'm already looking at, $6,500, $7,000 just from the beginning to get it going. Then I had to drive it from Florida to Colorado to get the roof raise done. And just the diesel cost and everything associated with that, I was already fairly invested into the bus, where I could have just went straight to a dealer, bought the bus for $9,000 or so, and I would have been good to go. So when it comes to the build itself, there is a very wide range when it comes to school bus conversions. As I said before, I've seen incredibly simple builds where they just throw some futon mattresses in there and they hit the road. I've seen medium builds to where a lot of the materials they build into the rig are repurposed materials. And then you have builds like mine that it's all new material. They're buying it from Home Depot or lumber liquidators and, basically paying retail. Just to give you context, my bus has about 55,000 into it, and I've been putting that into it over a span of about 3 years now. I should preface that I was able to get deals by working with companies like the Berkey, the Sink, some of the major components. I was able to work out deals with companies where if I had to build this rig without any collaboration with companies, my bus would be about $70,000. But again, if you look at that in terms of going out there and buying a Class A motorhome with the same engine and transmission to this build quality, I mean, I've seen rigs not built that well for, about $300,000, $400,000. You can go out and press the easy button, get an RV, it's set, ready to go. But overall, you're not really buying that good of a product from what I've seen. Some people have great success with their RVs. Some people have issues with it from day one and throughout the entire time they own the RV. Where with this, I know every single component that went into it. I know the craftsmanship and the quality, and things are going to hold up. I don't have to worry about my cabinets falling down like I did in the Class A motorhome that I owned as I was going down the Alcan highway hitting a bunch of bumps. I was literally looking, behind me to make sure that the cabinets weren't loosening up. Where with this, I know everything's solid. I know everything's good to go. The medium builds, my friend Webb, he used a lot of repurposed materials. A lot of his 3/4-inch plywood came from large crates that he's able to use on his floors and his walls. His cabinets are made out of old signposts that he was able to mill down and put together. And he has a fantastic build. It's a roof raise. He did all the work himself, and he has about 30,000 into his bus. So the range is very wide. It's really how you want to build it and how much skill you have yourself or friends or family that can help out. With this build, I've done a lot of bartering. I'll help somebody with a project for 2 or 3 weeks, and they'll help me with a project on this bus for 2 or 3 weeks, or I'll pay friends or family to help out with particular things. Like, for example, with solar, I know the basics, I know how it works, but do I feel comfortable putting in the relays and the fuses and feeling confident that I'm not going to start a fire? No, I don't. So I hired that out, and it really is just a scale. But the most important thing, when it comes to the cost of a school bus conversion and how everything's put together, is just realizing it's going to take a lot more time and pretty much every single situation that I know of, more money. I always tell people it's going to cost 3 times as much and it's going to take 2 times as long to actually get this thing set and ready to go. There's always just small expenses. It's just you're always adding something. There's small things that you don't think about that you have to go to Home Depot. And those Home Depot runs, they when they cost $100, $200, $300 every time, they start to add up, and it's just almost every day you're going there to get different stuff. So just keep in mind it's a budget that you do have. It can start with that, but typically it's going to cost a bit more than you're anticipating.